Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to My Chanel, and welcome, Little Biscuit, to the final of My Transsexual Summer, girls.
Hooray! Everyone's a winner!
What a season it's been. What an experience we've had here on the Chanel, my lovelies. I just want to thank every single member of My Transsexual Summer who reached out. You've shed some light. You've made it very much more exciting in the comments. And the amount of people that have also watched and enjoyed this show here on the Chanel, I was really, really surprised about. I have a very specific relationship with like trans content on my YouTube channels because back in 2015, my old channel was actually shadow banned for making too much trans content.
Oh, scandalous!
And only later did they admit that like making trans content was in fact like hidden by the algorithm. So there we are. I'm actually glad that we've been able to watch a full series of something without anything going too wrong, like with what happened with, there's something about Miriam. Oh, do you have something to say, Mr. Biscuit? Do you have something to say? Oh, Mr. Biscuit. Oh, Mr. Biscuit, are you part of the trans community? No. So, my lovelies, today we are watching the last ever episode ever made of My Transsexual Summer. It is kind of a shame that this wasn't like a multi-series thing following lots of different people across lots of different time frames. This was a one and done series back in 2011, which is now 12 years ago. Although I'm sure it was probably filmed about a year before then. So 12 to 13 years old for a trans-related show that actually showed trans people in a positive light and just kind of demystified what it is that they go through on a day-to-day basis was actually incredible and could never happen now, could it? No, we've said this in the comments once before, yes, haven't we, Biscuit? So, my lovelies, I have some very exciting news. I'm going to be organising a little bit of a kind of sort of reunion, sort of like what happened afterwards situation, interview situation. Don't quite know what it is yet. Don't know who's even going to be involved just yet. About the people that have starred in this show. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm sure it's going to take me a little while to organise because she's a busy woman. Isn't she, Biscuit? She's a busy biscuit.
Yay.
So I don't think I've done a top comment in this series before. I might have done for like the second episode perhaps. But one of the top comments on the last episode of My Transsexual Summer is by Destruction Glitter. And they say, 37-year-old femme, still mortified of groups of 20-year-old men, they can do anything if their mates encourage them enough. That is the tea. In the last episode, we saw that interesting moment of like self-defense. Like, let's teach you all self-defense. What do men say when you're out and about? What's all that about? And I agree. My brain and my heart rate still increases when I see groups of 20-year-old men that are just like, or just like groups of men in general that are just like being laddish nearby, especially if it's nighttime and I have to walk past them. I am like, fight or flight mode activated.
Not a joke, just a fact.
And I just kind of hate that because it's so exhausting. Like, how it is so exhausting. I just can't be bothered. Like, why, Biscuit? Why? I'm sure many people here can relate to that. So, my lovelies, with that being said, we're going to watch the final today. I don't know what's going to happen in this one. I'm sure it'll be like a let's wrap up the series. Everybody gets SRS. No. With that being said, my lovelies, thank you so much for the love this series has already gotten here on the Chanel. Let's keep that energy up today for today's episode. So grab yourself a beverage. Today I am on the Pepsi Max, drunk from a bottle. Can you believe it, Biscuit? A small bottle. Must be Halloween. Pop your hanger right into your little transsexual hole. Oh, naughty. Don't be naughty. And let's watch My Transsexual Summer, Episode 4. Oh, the beautiful house. My Transsexual Summer. I wish it only took one summer to become this. Takes many, many years and lots of experiences. Very interesting. I don't know if you know this, but there was an insult from the ancient world that goes something like, I hope you live through interesting times. Isn't that fascinating?
No.
It's late summer.
It's late summer.
Most
Oh,
of
it's
the
the
group are
end
back
of
at
the
the house.
transsexuals.
Look at the size of my boobs.
Oh no, what are you done with
They're
them?
growing. I don't know. I keep massaging them. And literally the last couple of
As
weeks,
you are meant to.
Drew's on holiday, so can't be at the house.
Oh!
But Sarah
She went to Turkey. No. No, that wasn't even a thing then, was it? Like, let's go to Turkey and come back with a new body.
has news. She's met her mum again.
What's that tattoo?
But Sarah has news.
Is that a transsexual angel? Oh! Donna, naughty. Right, I'm so sorry.
be at
There's
the
news.
house. But Sarah has news.
Right.
She's met her mum again after telling her that she's transgender.
I was sitting kind of in the coffee shop with my back to the door.
As Sarah?
As Sarah, yeah. And she came in and she tapped me on the shoulder from behind. She recognised me from behind. Yeah, it was so cool.
Oh,
I love it.
And yeah, so she came around and sat down and we had
okay.
a cup of tea. And
Positive?
she said that I look really different, was her first words.
Apart from the hair and the...
Kind of the point, isn't it?
Let's check this
Oh, that was positive. For some reason, the way that the narrator was like, oh, there's been news. We thought you'd heard. It was very that sort of vibe of like, oh, what are we gonna get here? I don't know why. Whenever it comes to like television and trans people, I always am just always gonna assume there's gonna be a problem somewhere. Can't all be plain sailing, can it? Right.
In his room, Lewis
keys
is
in the
showing the
bucket.
boys the money he's raised for the operation to have his breasts removed.
Yes.
20, 40, 60, 80...
The NHS refused to pay for Lewis's surgery.
That's so
now he's
weird.
got to raise £5,000.
Oh my God, I thought that was a penis. There's too many penises in this show already. It's actually just a foot.
Go private.
302... and a whole bunch of
I wonder what the cost
How
then
good do you
compared to
feel?
now
Do you
is.
feel like you're
Yeah.
actually on the way now?
I feel like really amazing.
Because at some point, you're going to wake up with a new chest.
Yes!
Can you imagine what it's going to feel like?
I've tried to, yeah, I sometimes think about it in my head, like what it'll feel like, but I don't know.
Hold your bucket out.
Oh, surgical anticipation! It's so exciting when you get to this point in your transition and things are actually like kind of coming together. You've got goals, you're being able to reach those goals, like the level of that like anticipation and waves of like almost euphoria, I guess, are so affirming. It's just like, I don't know. You have moments. I still have moments now where I sort of like look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I actually went through this journey. Oh, what? How crazy, girl. Oh, she's crazy. You gotta be mad to work here, but you do have to be trans.
Such a good
Money in the
start.
bucket.
The girls have business of their own.
Oh.
Karen's had surgery to create a
They do.
vagina out of her penis.
Oh.
And Donna's going to have her own private viewing.
Wow.
Oh, why did you make it sound like that?
It's amazing. It looked lovely. It really did. As a vagina or fanny or whatever it is you want to call it.
Fanny.
It doesn't make me want to have the operation, but it looks lovely. It really does. It looks what it's supposed to look like.
Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, look, see, community, so important. Everyone's so uplifting and wonderful and lovely. And what we just heard there was Donna saying that she's not planning on having the surgery. So that, like, I feel like we don't hear about enough different types of representation of different types of trans people. I said this before in a video, probably this series actually, a little while ago. I described my journey as transsexual. I have taken hormones and had surgery to change the sexual characteristics of my body. That's what I've done. I've changed that. Transsexual is a type of transgender, but not everyone who's transgender is transsexual. Everyone's journey looks a bit different. If you think about it as a train line, some people get on at the start and then maybe go one stop. Some people go all the way to the end of the line. And that's perfectly fine. Like, that's everyone's experience. There's no two similar trans people. What? No, is that right? What do you say? Yeah, what? No, what? No two trans people are the same. That's what I'm trying to say. What?
Deranged.
It is amazing. I'm just like, oh my God.
Isn't medicine
Amazing.
crazy? Oh, a Hollywood
Now that
mirror.
she's the woman she
I need one
always
of them.
knew she was, Karen started to think about dating.
Oh!
I used to think that I would be
Download
lesbian.
A
because I didn't
lesbian.
fancy men. But now I'm post-op, it feels a bit more different. I do know a bloke, and we have been out recently for dinner.
Oh! Dinner and a... So, do you know what the weirdest thing? Okay, so, I don't know if anyone here is going to also be able to sympathise. Is that the word? Not sympathise, like relate to this. So, before I went on hormones, I had a strict interest in men. That was it. Nothing else. No one else was on my radar. I just was interested in men. The longer I've been on hormones, the more my sexuality has evolved and changed. And I think I said this a while ago. I was like, I kind of wish I was bisexual because I feel like that's I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, bisexual elitism. We're going to unpack that sentence, maybe never, to be honest. Probably between me and my therapist. Yeah, probably not here on the internet, no. But the longer I have been on hormones, the more open my sexual barriers have become in terms of who I find attractive. And that has led me to question myself multiple times because, like, shall I say I share some tea here? I don't know if she watches the channel. There was a girl I used to work with, and I used to get the butterflies when she would talk to me. And I've not had that experience with a woman before. And whenever she talked to me, I'd just kind of go a bit like silly and I couldn't speak properly. And I'd just be like, no, don't look at me. I'm making myself stupid. Stop. You know when you get like, just someone looks at you and you get all flustered and like silly if you find them attractive. In my mind, then I had like, I really had to sit down and ask myself the questions like, if this girl was to ask me out, how would I react? Would I be like, no, not interested? Or would I be like, oh my goodness, this is something new I'm experiencing. I don't know what I'm really doing, but like, yes? And I don't know. It just kind of made me feel like my sexuality where I'm attracted to men, like predominantly men, only men I've ever said, is like I'm only ever attracted to men, is not true. It's not true. I feel like it's like, maybe like 90-10, if I was to put numbers on it. Maybe like 90-10, or like 80-20 perhaps? I don't know. It's, all I can say is the longer you're on hormones, the more you realise that like, attraction, desire, and like the way of the person that you think you are is fluid. It's a lot more fluid than straight, strict categories. So I'm not surprised here that Karen has had like a moment of like, it feels different. Because when you have big changes done to you, it does feel different. Oh, how exciting!
Fantastic.
Out for
It
dinner.
is quite nice. We do get on. We always have done. But maybe in the future. I don't know. I really don't know.
I see myself as a
she's
straight
drunk.
woman.
What?
I see myself as a straight woman.
Oh, yes.
I only ever go out with straight guys now, and it's how I see myself, and I like it.
Dating is like the hardest part about being trans.
I find it hard.
Do you?
It's like, I do consider myself just as a straight male, so I want to find a straight girlfriend.
Is that why you like Donna so much?
I'm straight.
Oh.
I know. That's what I said.
Oh, no, awkward.
Straight
No, stop
girlfriend,
it. No,
and I worry
naughty.
about not having the right parts, you know what I mean? So I used to go out with lesbians, and then as I started to transition, I sort of went for bisexuals, and now that I'm like, obviously, like you know, really far into my transition, I've got straight girls, so it's like lesbians,
Interesting.
bisexuals,
What would you
straight
do,
girls.
straight girl?
It's a timeline,
I don't know. I
isn't
don't think I could date a straight girl.
I like it.
What would I do with her?
Yeah. I know.
I'd probably just sit and do her hair all day.
I've taken myself out of the dating world. So,
Yeah, but why?
well, it's only like 18 months since I split up with my ex. So,
18 months?
See, mine was 2 months. Does that make me a bad person looking for someone else?
I think you know the answer to that. 18 months?
Oh,
18
naughty.
months, you should wait a bit longer. Definitely.
You're definitely
wait
not
longer.
ready.
I really hope that in the future.
Let's talk about dating, shall we? It is a very interesting experience to date as a trans person. I feel like if there's anyone out here can like relate to this. I also said this in the last Wife Swap New Zealand episode. If there is something a little bit, for lack of a better word, that makes you a minority, there are like pitfalls to dating. And by pitfalls, I mean that there are people that will actively seek out you for whatever puts you in that minority. So we have a phrase in the trans dating community called tranny chasers. And it's basically what it says on the tin. A chaser is someone who will like kind of obsess over you in the most negative way. Like they'll say everything you want to hear. They'll try to make out as if like you're the most important creature on the planet. They're usually weirdly, completely obsessed with specific parts of you or specific parts of your journey in a way that actually ends up being quite negative. And I always say this to like the young dolls out there, like, don't listen to him just because he's like,
oh my god, you're lovely, I can't wait, a sheeness on my face.
Good heavens.
just exercise caution when it comes to chasers. Admirers, however, different thing. I'm personally not put off by someone who has dated trans people before. I'm not put off by that. You will find some dolls in the community, I can't speak for trans men, but definitely some transsexual women, dolls in particular, have been known to come online and make videos in which I think is a little bit irresponsible by saying like, oh no, I have to be the only one, I have to be the first, I can be the only one. I'm a bit like, you know, sure, but don't shame men that date the dolls, because what are you doing? shaming men. And what do we not like? Shaming people for being themselves. I've always said here on the Chanel that I quite like dating bisexual men. And it's not because I don't find straight men attractive, it's just because a lot of my being, a lot of my cultural reference points, a lot of the time that I've spent in London has been spent in queer places, and bringing a completely straight man into my life and into my roles, introducing them to all of my friends, I don't feel like they'd be able to relate very much. Do you know what? My relationship now is probably the first, like, typical straight relationship I've been in. He has gelled exceptionally well with my friendship group. He's taken everything on board, and he describes himself as straight-ish. So, you know, I'm happy with that. I think that's really quite cute. But yes, the pitfalls of dating as a trans person. I'm sure any trans people watching this, in fact, anyone watching this will relate to some sort of like, oh, that was difficult, wasn't it?
I really hope that in the future I find a really nice girl that...
Interesting tea here. I actually met Lewis a few weeks ago at an event in London. We got a screening for The Nun 2, and I bumped into Lewis and his girlfriend, and they make such a cute couple. So I'm so glad that we're just hearing him say he wants to bump into a nice girl, and he has.
Accepts me for for being transgender, but just sees me as a straight male and nothing other than that, and somebody that makes me feel like I'm just any other man.
I'm very lucky because I have love in my life, and I am loved, and I know that I'm loved because she tells me every day.
Oh,
what I'm looking for
that's so
is
lovely.
someone who, makes me laugh, and someone that gives me butterflies, and at the end of the day, whether or not they're a man or a woman or a trans person or someone else entirely, is not at the top of my list for things to consider.
Tea! We got a great little range there of people's experiences with dating. So imagine this. The year is 2011. It's 8 p.m. on a Thursday evening. My Transsexual I nearly said cummer.
Oh my God!
My Transsexual Summer comes on the TV, and we're talking about relationships and what people might consider in a partner. And we hear, without the word being said, something akin to pansexuality, wherein lies like, it doesn't really matter who the person is, I'll fall in love with them. Mind-blowing. 2011? Could never. Oh, the British summer. Oh, Drew Barrymore.
That is lush.
Lately, Donna's started to think about finding love too.
Oh.
I love it!
Just 3 months ago, Donna ended a long-term relationship with a straight man.
We were together for 3.5 years, and we decided, because of age and stuff like that, that it's not going to work.
But the prospect of finding a new man was daunting.
It is.
It's thinking about the fact that I've not been through my life as Donna single. And do you know what's more scary? I'm going to have to learn to get to know someone again.
Sorry, I'm going to pause it there. Absolute tea. Absolute tea. Even if you are not ready for the day. Even I have an experience here that mirrors Donna's. That's such a relatable thing, because I was in a relationship when I transitioned. It's not the relationship I'm in now. That relationship had huge problems, and they're in the past now, gone forever. But inevitably, when the breakup happened, when he dumped me and it was a huge problem, after being by myself, I was like, oh my God, I actually have to now be Luxeria, who is single, and learn what dating is as me as an adult in this body. And that at first was exceptionally daunting. I had tears because I was just like, how can I possibly relate to someone? There's something quite unique about going through quite a long-term relationship breakup that makes you question how much of yourself is also you. Because if you've lived with someone, you've spent time with them, your personalities start to mesh, your life is meshed together. Untangling all of that and then realizing what this is and this is you is also an emotional thing. So to also add being trans on top of that, oh, it's a lot, girls, it's a lot. Who can relate?
Not me.
Oh, it was the night.
It's strange, not having someone around all the time.
Whole milk.
You get a bit lonely, and I get really I don't know, a bit upset because it'd be nice to have someone around.
Yes, I agree.
Now, Donna feels ready to start dating again.
Oh, she's got a
I do
feather
use trans
duster.
dating sites and stuff. It's just for the fact that
it's a lot easier in life. Then you don't have to explain yourself to someone. You don't have,
Yes.
because they're already there. But the only downfall to that is you know you're only getting a date for the fact that you're a trans.
Yeah, it's
But it's not the only way Donna can meet men.
What's the time?
9 o'clock.
Does that mean?
About 11.
Back at the retreat, the girls are going to one of Donna's favourite clubs.
Oh!
As soon as you walk in,
Oh,
there,
stop.
people are checking you out. Have a champagne bought for me from these nice
Stop.
men and stuff.
Stop.
Their clubs
It's
tonight.
where men come to meet transgendered women.
Stop.
But
Stop.
you do get a lot of tranny chasers.
T.
I feel sorry for them. Really
Why? You feel sorry for tranny
Well,
chasers?
because they're looking for an illusion, aren't they?
Well, it all depends, because they like women, but they like alternative women. They like women with that extra, well, that
The girl
extra
with something
thing, shall we say.
extra.
I know I used to be one, but I just find men so pathetic sometimes. Right, I'm done.
Ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah.
Don't rush me.
Where are they going?
This is a work of art.
Say the name of the club. Say it. Where are they going?
You look really classy. Really super classy.
I look classy. I'm getting changed. Woman.
Does look classy. Something about a blazer that says business.
People here that call themselves men are not being men
They're chickening
because
out.
they're not taking their women out to play.
Oh, I didn't realise you were my woman! Oh, that changes
What's
things.
this?
Come
Is
here,
it a dating simulator all of a sudden?
Oh,
It's
Pigeon.
your woman.
oh my God,
It's not fair. There we go, we all win. Oh, Lewis. I miss you already.
But it can be like a ladies' night.
You can tell us about it over
Yeah,
breakfast.
yeah.
We'll make breakfast.
Come on, girls, let's go. Bye,
Oh, you really have a stunned then. Absolutely stunned. Right, where are they going?
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing such a granddad.
boys. To the trannies. Woo!
Where is it? No one said. Wild girls. Oh, what's that? Oh, is there a logo there? Is that a logo? Can I recognise that? Okay, so I don't know if they're in London or where nearby they are, but there are specific clubs around the UK that cater to a trans audience. There's a few in London actually. There's one in like Surrey that's called Candy Girls, and there's one in London. I think it's in Aldgate, or it used to be in Aldgate anyway. I've been a few times, and it's called the Way Out Club, and it was pretty way out. It was a very interesting experience, not gonna lie. I also went to a club once. Oh my God, that was called Stunners. Let me tell you, that was an experience. It was a bit more of an adult club than I thought it was going to be, so I wasn't quite prepared, and I was a bit like... Oh, the music, yes. Oh, it is Way Out Club! It is the Way Out Club! She runs it! She runs the Way Out Club! It is! Oh, T.
I'm having a really good night. I've seen loads of people that I know. I'll be able to have a good dance. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, who you are.
Oh,
anyone-
look, the Boris Bikes. Yes, she's in Aldgate at the Way Out Club. That's interesting because if that's like Donna's local, I probably met Donna a handful of times. Because I used to be there in like 2011 as well. Oh, it's a small world. Oh, it's a small after all.
Can come in. Do you know what I mean? So it's so much fun.
Where I met Paris Lees. Me and Sinestro used to go. Oh, it's
The guys that come to a trans club,
doing it.
they like their women with penises.
Yes.
And in 5-10 years maximum, I won't have a penis. So therefore,
So
they
surgery's
won't like me
definitely
anymore.
on the table.
So why the hell would I want to go to a place like this?
Interesting. Is that... No. Is that who I think it is? That's who I think it is. I've got beef with this person. Oh,
The
a
attention
beautiful
is welcome.
shoe.
It's if someone thinks you're good looking, they'll tell you you're good looking. You know,
It is a bit of a
Oh, you're
hookup
good
club,
looking, but
though.
oh my God, you're a bloke, so I don't fancy you. I don't do this. You know, all of this. None of this is ever an issue.
That's very true.
He was like, lovely.
I remember this staircase. Oh!
But nearer to home, Donna may already have made a conquest.
What?
She is really, really, really attractive. She's got like a beautiful face, she has.
And Lewis and Donna are going to have a moment.
Everything that I like in a girl, and she is my type, apart from one thing, is that I like my girls quite short, because I'm short. I like my girls to be shorter than me. She's tall. I don't want to get hopes up or anything, but I also know is that I do quite find her attractive, yeah.
Aww. I wonder if that's a bit production being like, so, we've seen you talking. Like, I wonder if that's the case there. Right.
As soon
it's
as I
the
got outside
morning
the club,
after.
this guy grabbed my hand and he was like, I'll take you to the ballet, I'll take you to the opera, anywhere you want to go, like this. And he go. And I was just like, can you let go of my hand, please?
Last night, the girls went to a transgender nightclub while the boys stayed in.
I don't see why trans people should go to trans clubs. Why can't they just go to normal clubs? Why do they
because some of them don't feel as comfortable or as safe.
Oh, are we going to have a bit of discourse here? Bit of discourse at the table? I was going to say at the ball. Discourse at the ball, girls. Yes, so... Should we have a listen first before I share my opinion?
People are new to the thing.
It feels like people are just segregating themselves, you know?
Well, they are, but...
Why should I be defined as transsexual, you know? Yeah. It's just a short period in my life that I will be trans.
It's interesting because I don't think I'm ever going to lose or give up the trans before my man. Mm-hmm. There's this assumption that at some point when you pass enough, you'll just be a man. You know, you don't need to be trans anymore because you just integrate with regular society.
I completely agree.
I have no desire to do that. What about Lewis, though? I think that you've got a different...
I wouldn't, ever deny that I was, born female, you know, but I try not to see myself as a trans man and just see myself as, just a man. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I see myself, but there's nothing wrong with...
And I like being trans. I really like being trans.
Interesting. Okay, interesting there. So, a few things we should talk about, shouldn't we? Sarah raised the question then of why should there be trans-related clubs? Why can't we just have, everybody intermingling? And I can see what she means there. I can see this want to be accepted in a way that's so prevalent and widely accepted, like we could just walk in anywhere. I do feel like it's not quite the case. Sarah now runs trans pride marches in Brighton, which is incredible and very, very needed, but it's definitely one of the same things that I can akin it to, it's the reason why we have trans pride and pride, LGBT pride. Very specific conversations need to happen for trans people specifically. That's not saying we're segregating ourselves, but I do think that it is a little bit different than just being gay or being a lesbian or being bisexual or pansexual or anything else. There is separate conversations that need to have for these separate people. Years and years and years ago, I tried to go into a bar in Manchester with my ex at the time. We didn't realise that it was a very specific type of bar, and they said no women are allowed, so I wasn't allowed in. So I remember thinking, this is a problem, and then I sort of sat down and I thought, actually, is it a problem? I really sat and I thought with myself, when it comes to this gay bar that I wasn't allowed in because I was perceived as a woman and I was too feminine to go in, while part of me is a bit stung, I also think, do you know what? If these masculine gay guys want a place that they can go to where they can just go and be masculine gay guys together with each other, that's fine. I don't lose anything by them having that space. I, on the other hand, don't also see a problem with having trans-only places, trans-only clubs. I think the problem can arise when that conversation starts to move into, I'm going to discriminate against you because you are a specific type of person who is not welcome here. That's where we start to get into legal territory. I think it's a very nuanced issue, and as what I said earlier, as we can see from this conversation here, every trans person is different. They're gonna have different opinions, they're gonna have a different lived experience. And I think for people outside of the trans community who want to be great allies, good friends with us, just want to listen to more about our stories, is to just listen to individual trans people, because there is no collective hive mind. We aren't all the same. Although there can be a little bit of infighting, especially if you see on Twitter, as soon as fingers are started being pointed, that's where problems happen, in my opinion. For me, my transition has been a social and a medical journey. I'm not saying every trans person needs to have a medical intervention. That's not what I'm here to say. As a transsexual person, I have undergone surgeries, hormones, doctor's appointments, legal appointments in order for me to have my transition. That's what my transition looked like.
The fourth retreat is coming to an end.
Your bags!
Everyone's going back to their separate lives.
Oh no! We're only 13 minutes in!
I went to give it to my grandparents because they've got savings account for me. They'll put it in the account and then hopefully it'll grow some interest. And that's where I'm going to put all the other money that I raise as well.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Did Lewis just say putting money in the bank builds interest? If that's not the most, like, aged like milk phrase from this entire show, I don't know what is. Gosh, do you remember when you used to put money in the bank and get interest? Do you remember when that used to happen? Do you remember when people used to say things like, oh, you win the lottery, put it in the bank, you live off the interest? Never. Unheard of now.
Leaving this massive room, going back to my little box in Swansea, my tiny little bed. I mean, I can go like that and I can touch both the walls in my room. I feel like I'm retreating back into my shell, kind of.
Oh, it's a coat!
Yeah, I never like going home after this place.
Oh.
The next time they all meet up will be their last time at the house.
Oh my God. The last supper. Oh, this is... Oh.
Your bag's huge. One of the men will help.
They've built a sense of community in the house. Now, can they find the same support in the outside world?
Difficult, but it can be done. Brighton! That's where I grew up.
In Brighton, Fox works as an artist.
An artiste? We don't know much about
When
Fox
he came
yet,
to
do
the
we?
first retreat, he was jealous of the other men.
I'm the earliest on my stage of the guys that are here, and it's just really obvious. I kind of feel not embarrassed, but I feel kind of bad about that.
I don't like it at all. I don't have a beard or anything.
Yeah, but not all guys have a beard.
A beard doesn't make a man, though, eh?
And I am impatient to change.
3 months later, he's keen to hang out with the boys.
Oh, I've got a hair wax.
So will he enjoy a lad's
Oh
night
wait,
out?
what? Is this 3 months later? We didn't see 3 months later, did we? Did we hear 3 months later? I didn't hear any of that.
What I'm finding, there's no way I would go out without that. And same with packing as well. Okay, so it's
Get your cock out.
It's quite a big one, but I mean, you know, if you're gonna choose your own, you might as well choose a big one, right?
That's a very pretty sculpture of a penis. So much penis in this show.
The way I walk, if I've got something there, it changes the way that I walk.
Yes,
like,
this is
women
something
walk
I
with
learned
their
last
hips
time.
and men
Walk
with
from
their
the
dicks.
genitals.
I'm at that stage where I'm still kind of walking the line, it feels like. If I hang out with women now, I get kind of grouped as, hey, it's the girls, you know, we all get called the girls together. So I'm kind of hoping that hanging out with the boys, I'll just get grouped as one of the boys.
Be like one of the lads, yeah. Oh, is this copyright music? One of the lads, ooby-dooby-dooby-doo, on the piss.
Has your piss started smelling
Is that Ollie? No! How do I know so many people from this? I remember Ollie. He used to play in a band. What was that band called?
It's funny you should ask that, because yes, it does. It does smell different.
Is that the Pav Tav? Oh my god. This is copyright music. I can't. Oh, look at the old iPhone. Right, this is.
It's so funny because like Ollie was like, I'm gonna go to the loo, and I was like, I'll come with you, but like, guys don't do that, do they? So, like,
I guess in some cases it's just like, oh fuck it, I need to go for one as well, so I'll go with you.
Yeah,
you can't
totally.
choose that in your language.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah, I'll go fuck it, Ollie.
Whatever, yeah. When I first started with the whole process, I really did feel very anxious about where I fit in amongst men and how I might feel, and whether I'd feel accepted ever about doing this. But it's the perfect lads night out for me because I feel part of them and I feel accepted and I feel listened to. Oh yeah.
Look, that's some fine toy over there. Yeah. All right, darling.
This time last year, I was incredibly suicidal, and I didn't know if I could carry on the way I was. I still would love to get facial hair, and I'd love to get further down the line, but things are changing, and things are kind of just getting better.
Yeah, it just takes time. It just takes time to transition. Stay beautiful! I used to go there! How fascinating. Oh, this is a memory lane moment. Oh, guitar amp keyboard. I used to work on that road. Funny.
Sarah's also in Brighton.
Oh!
So nice to meet you.
It's all happening in Brighton.
She's looking for somewhere to live.
It's a great place to live.
Hi, how are you? I'm Sarah.
3 months ago, she left her home in Jersey to start life as a woman.
Okay, cool.
It's quite small, but it's very bright.
It's very seaside-y, isn't it?
Since then, the retreat's been the place she's felt most accepted. Now she wants to find a home where she'll fit in.
Yes. Pretty quiet, actually. That's what I'm looking for, somewhere where I can feel at ease, you know?
It's just, you know, whether it works.
Yeah, I do like the place. I could never have gone into these, strange people's houses and convince them to rent a room to me when I was dressed as a guy, you know, because I had no confidence, I had no belief in myself.
Yes,
so I never thought that I could make such a success of life, you know? It's a bit of an alien concept to me.
That's so real. I tell you what, a similar experience I have to Sarah here is during my like early stages of transition, and when I was like, well, I guess before transition actually, anytime I'd have to have like a person come to the house and look at the gas meter or an electrician fix something or something like that, I would feel so uncomfortable and so just like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, I don't want any, like, I don't want this to happen. Like, just the anxiety would be through the roof. Now, like, years into my transition, I live by myself, so I have to be an adult and deal with things like that. It doesn't bother me. I'm like, it's like, if someone has to come over and fix something, it's fine. It's not even a consideration. And that level of development of like, through me being comfortable with myself has allowed me to actively tackle problems in a comfortable way is a wild experience. And unless you've gone through something like that, it's difficult to explain the feeling because I think most people take that for granted. Most people are just like, oh yeah, there's a problem, we just call the person, they come and fix it. But if you have something that's like disconnected in you, you can kind of feel a little bit like, stay away from me. Everyone get away. I don't want to do any of all that. And now that things are reconnected in the right way, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, how's it going? I'm Sarah.
Hello.
She's house touring.
You're right opposite the bathroom.
Oh, cool. It's really bright in here as well, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And this is Amy.
Oh yeah, you're right. So what kind of people do you like to share with normally?
Not too noisy.
Yeah.
But someone also that feels comfortable enough to come and sit down in the lounge and watch television with us.
Yeah. So what I'm looking for primarily is to make a few friends, you know, and get to know a few people.
As long as you're considerate to us and we're the same to you.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not a problem. It's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you too as well.
And how do you want to leave it? That you'll contact me? Or?
Yeah, I'll definitely get in contact
with
you.
That's lovely.
Okay, that seemed nice. It is very jarring having to go and like investigate rooms in like shared accommodation though. Even when I've done it before, I've been like, this is very awkward, isn't it? Hello. I don't know. It just feels it's a very odd concept. No, stop.
Brilliant.
I must admit, I'll be honest, I was shocked. And wasn't quite what I was expecting.
A trans
person. But then, but she seemed to be a nice person, so
she is nice.
You shouldn't judge people.
Why do people think trans people are awful? Where did this come from? Oh, I know where it came from. It came from like media, didn't it? Like the Silence of the Lambs being like all trans people are gonna like kidnap a woman and leave her in a well. Hello.
If she moves to Brighton, Sarah will already have friends.
Hello.
Yes.
Hey. Yeah, really good. Nice to see you. So tell me everything.
Oh, I'm moving to Brighton.
Yes. It's so perfect. Good.
I know, eh? Yeah, I've been to see flats today.
Really?
And I managed to like sweet talk them all into liking me.
Oh, Sarah, it's not difficult though, is it?
Is that good? Did she get an apartment?
In Merseyside, Lewis is dressing to impress.
Merseyside?
Since his parents' divorce 11 years ago, he's rarely seen his dad.
Oh, right. Oh, tea. Dad tea.
But things are getting better. Tonight, he's off to an event his dad's arranged to raise money for his surgery.
Ah!
I'm really excited, but I'm dead nervous, to be honest. Like, I've never been to my dad's place before, and he's going to introduce me to his friends. He might feel a bit uncomfortable telling his friends, I've got a transgendered son or whatever, it's a lot.
Yes, we saw in the last episode, was it the last? Yeah, it was the last episode, when Lewis raised some money for his top surgery. We saw his dad kind of get a little bit involved, and he also said something a bit like unfriendly about Lewis in terms of like, oh, this is my whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It was a bit awkward to watch that. Lots of people in the comments, though, mentioned that later down the line, Lewis and his dad's relationship, like, just got better. Like, it got better. It got better over time. Like, the relationship just grew and got better. And I feel like, I said this before, you have to give people room to grow as well. You can't immediately just cut them off. But if they are being perpetual issues, then yes, obviously you have to. For your own self-preservation. Interesting that this is the next episode, and we're seeing, like, a development. I like that.
Parents probably feel a bit uncomfortable about telling people.
Niels rallied his friends round for a benefit.
I've never asked my dad how he feels if he's ever had to explain to people about my transition. I don't feel like I want to know the answer, though. I don't feel like I want to know.
I'm dead nervous, like, because
I bet you're no more nervous than me.
Are you nervous? Are you?
Right, so we go and get a drink?
Yeah.
Oh, meeting dad's friends.
No, someday.
Right.
This is Jeanette. This is Lewis.
Nice to meet you.
I guess it also does depend on how long your parents have been friends with these people, because if they've been friends for like 40 years, we went to sea together, then obviously they're going to have known you since you were a child and maybe also know your personal story anyway. Interesting. Oh, this lady, she looks very, very British pub lady, doesn't she? Very Pat Butcher.
Are you okay?
This is Beverly.
Nice
this is Tony.
Nice to meet you.
Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to the Black Bull in Great Eccleston. Is everybody all right?
Oh no, does he have to do an announcement for fundraising?
Ladies and gents, I'm sure well, perhaps you don't know, but tonight we're doing a little bit of fundraising.
Oh, how's it gonna go? Oh, please don't say my son's a girls, give him money.
And for those of you who don't know why or what it's all about, this is my son, Lewis. Say hello, Lewis.
Hi, everyone.
But we are doing a little bit of fundraising for my lad here who needs some surgery. We're going to kick off in a little bit with karaoke. We'll have a laugh.
I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for coming, and I hope you all enjoy it and have a good time. So, that's everything to say.
Okay, oh, I can breathe again. Okay, awkward, difficult, a little bit like, oh. I will say there's probably some alcohol involved, so maybe like minds are a little bit slower than they would be usually, see? But that wasn't hateful, it was just very like beat around the subject.
Right, hey, chip off the old block.
You know, it's the first time I've had a pint with you.
I know.
Never had a pint with you before. How good's that?
At last, Lewis and his dad can chat man to man.
Okay.
I can understand you thinking that I was being negative.
Yeah.
And against it. I wasn't being negative, and I wasn't against it. I was just curious.
Yeah.
And making sure that what you was doing was safe for you to do.
Yes, so I do feel like sometimes there is a fine line that parents tread, which is obviously caution. They want to still be a parent, but they also have your best interest at heart. And the thing is, I saw a TikTok recently that was like, remember to be nice to your mum, it's her first time in this life as well. And I just thought, like, that's so true. Like, you have to give people room to grow because this is the first time that they're living as well. Like, I know sometimes we look at our parents like they might know everything or maybe nothing at all, but like it is their first time being that age and doing all this, like, because we only really get one life. In fact, we only get one life as far as we know. So to see this like development is quite nice to see. Puts some things into perspective, doesn't it?
Because it's only recently that you started really being comfortable with yourself and your life.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
And so your life has probably started a bit later than what it should have done.
That's exactly what I think.
Right.
I feel like I'm going through my like teenage years
Very
now. Do you know what I mean?
very
I don't
in
know
tune.
when you see me now. Like, do you feel like this is how like I should be? Do you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine if I was? Do you know what I mean?
Looking at you now and talking to you now, right? This is how you should have been years ago.
Do you think that?
How does a 6-7-year-old know how to explain?
Yeah.
You know.
They don't.
I'm in the wrong body.
Well, I did used to say that,
It's
though,
like,
didn't I? Well, you're saying all this stuff, and it's like, I didn't realise that you understood exactly how I felt, though.
Anyway, it's your round.
I was hoping to get a bit of money for tonight, but I've not been too hung up on that, to be honest. I just want to enjoy myself and I just want to have a good time with my dad, and he sees me as his son now, and that's all I was asking for, really.
Ah, that's so lovely. Oh, and some karaoke, yes. I cannot bear karaoke, but if you love it, you love it. That was such a beautiful little moment there, and such a rarity. Like, when do you ever see moments like that in television? That genuine connection of, like, overcoming a rocky territory or something, you know what I mean? Like, there's not enough of that. That is feel-good television in which everyone's come out feeling the love. Like, we've watched some absolute states of horror here on the Chanel, my lovelies. We don't often get moments of love like that. Right, what's the tea? Oh!
In Brighton,
no tea.
Sarah's been asked back to the house she liked best.
Okay.
How's it going?
Is this good?
Yeah, cool.
It's, I don't even know how to start, to be honest. I know that this can be a wicked world, as it were.
Yeah.
And I was just a bit concerned about if you were walking to the station, on if you did get any abuse or.
Well, I live this every day, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, it's for me to worry about, kind of my safety. You know, I literally every day of my life I come across potential problems like that, and you just learn how to avoid them.
My concern was also whether people, knowing that you live with us, whether they might give abuse. I mean, I don't know, like bricks thrown in the window and things like that.
Yeah.
Have then other people that you've lived with, have they ever had abuse?
No, never.
Things like that.
I think the world is a lot nicer than people give it credit for. Thanks a lot, Eng.
Yeah.
See ya.
Oh, that didn't seem positive, did it? That seemed very much like, we're scared of you being trans because we might be hurt because of transphobia. How do you even begin to talk about a topic like that? I can sort of extend some level of understanding in a really deranged way that, like, sure, like, some people don't want to be around the person or the thing that is attracting attention. I can understand that, but also these people need places to live still, and to discriminate against someone living in your house because they're trans, because you feel like their transness is affecting you, is discrimination.
I was quite actually shocked that she thought that if I lived in her home, then she might get
abuse.
A brick through the window, as she put it. It just seems a very extreme
It is.
thought.
Like, I don't feel like that's going to happen in Brighton. Well, to be honest, Brighton is a bit rough in certain areas, but, like, I don't know, you know, I don't know. Because, like, what can you do with that? What can you do with that information? Very unhelpful. That was her basically saying, I'm uncomfortable with you being trans, so you can't live here. That's basically what she was trying to say.
I'm determined to move here. It's gonna happen. I've got a better chance of a job here. I've got a better chance.
This was me moving to London. I was like, it's
gonna
gonna happen. Ironically, I left Brighton.
It's so peaceful, you know? It's so tranquil. That's what I want for my future. That's what I want. Peace. You know, I don't want any dramas.
I do miss the sea. I do miss the garden. Oh, My Transsexual Summer. Right, okay.
It's the 5th and final retreat.
Oh, 2 retreats in one episode.
Fox and Lewis are the first to arrive.
Okay, the boy.
I've ran out of cologne, so that's packed my mum's. It's called, like, something girl, I don't know, but it's
Are you serious?
Yeah, I smell like a melon when I wear it.
A melon. Why did you pack it anyway? Because you want to smell of something?
Yeah, I'd rather smell of girl than smell of sweat.
Right.
Last time Karen was at the house, she was blonde.
Oh!
Oh my god, look at your hair. Amazing.
She's not a blondie.
Oh, you look really nice.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Oh, she does suit the deeper hair tone,
Wow.
though.
Really good, I like
It really changes you. Brunettes, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Donna's back.
Donna's in the house.
No, really? I didn't hear
Yeah.
Hey.
Give me a
How long
kiss.
does it take you to get here?
What's that?
About 2.5 hours.
I never, ever in a million years would have thought that I would fancy a transgender woman.
I'm just gonna go find my room.
It was a bit weird for me in terms of, like, sexually. It would be weird
And that's something that I would have to get my head around if anything was to happen with us both.
That has to be production. That has to be production being like, would you ever
touch your sheenus?
How am I gonna navigate this? Interesting. I think preferences in dating are absolutely fine. If you don't want to date me because I don't have the parts that you would consider a cis woman has, that's fine. Like, your preferences are your preferences. Problems only happen when people overstep that line and then use it as a method of insulting or to be offensive to you. Be like, how dare you? You know, that's where the problem happens. Everyone has preferences. That's what attraction is. So it is interesting there to hear Lewis say, like, he would have to adjust to whatever that sexual experience looks like. Interesting. Oh, we're getting deep here on the channel. Oh, don't say deep, Luxeria.
I'm just going to see what happens this weekend.
I got the best room. Yeah, of course. What?
My room's good as well.
What's going to happen this weekend? Oh, my God.
We're staying next to each other. Lewis! How lovely.
Oh.
Big little, like, hallway buddies. We've got a little hallway between us with a pool table.
Yeah,
we can have a midnight game of pool.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Oh, is that what it's called,
Naked.
Donna? She's being naughty.
Next in is Sarah, who's just been shopping.
Oh!
As soon as I saw this wig, I was like, I have to have it.
It's quite very layered. Trini will be pleased.
You're right, darling. Oh, I love your hair.
I love your hair.
You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Peppers, carrots, pasta. Pepper and carrot
Max is
pasta.
last to
The
arrive.
meal of the transgenders.
But they won't all be back at the house until Drew comes back from holiday tomorrow.
This is good. I spent
Oh, Drew, on
all
holiday.
of my money
How
for the next 2
inconsiderate.
weeks on new hair. But it looks amazing though, right?
Yeah, it
It's well
looks
worth it.
really good, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
So what have you done with the old one, the old favourite?
It's in a box in my suitcase. I was going to set it on fire.
Really?
Guess what?
What?
I'm seeing someone.
Oh, amazing.
Donna, naughty.
It's a guy that I was talking to a lot online, and then we met up when we were out clubbing one night. When we were out clubbing, us three.
Right.
When we were out in London.
Oh, him?
Yeah, I've been down to London to see him, and he's been up mine, and we've been dating.
I wasn't expecting anything to like come of them.
Oh no, of course! Because this whole storyline's happening. Oh, I wondered why they were trying to portray it as like, oh, it's actually very sad. Donna's having a kebab lick. No, stop.
With me and Donna. I guess I was a little bit jealous, but like not
What's
like
all
anything
this?
serious.
Oh. Oh, the night. All right. What unexpected drama in the bagging area?
3 months ago, they came together to help and support each other.
Yes.
Now, the summer's over.
Today
Drew's
we're having
here.
a party. We've got some friends and family coming along. Mainly family, I think, from everyone.
Familiars.
So yeah, it's going to be a good day. Drew's coming back. She's my right-hand tran.
Right-hand tran. Oh, I love that.
Sina, I just wanted to let you know that we both really enjoyed meeting you last week.
Sarah's received a text about the house she liked so much in Brighton.
And you seem to be such a lovely person, but we are still concerned for your safety and ours because of the society we live in. After all, this is the south of England and not Wales.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What, are people more open-minded in Wales or something than the south of England? Or...
She seems to think that it's like the Bronx or something.
You're not a freak. You're not a
I know.
weirdo. You're just a person trying to get by.
Just because I'm trans, why should I have to feel that I'm limited to only going to certain places?
For your safety. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It's rubbish, eh?
Well, luckily you've got a few other options as well. You can
Yeah,
always come and keep on my floor and we can
Yeah.
sort it out for you, you know?
Cool.
Oh,
cheers.
that's
Don't
so
worry about
lovely.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
cool.
move on. Forget her.
Oh, that's sad. That's actually really, really annoying. But as soon as Sarah met that woman, which is called Amy, I did get a vibe. I don't know if this is because I'm trans. I pick up on
The vibe.
There's a look, There's a vibe, there's a way that conversations go, there's a sort of a tinge of something in the tone of speech that shifts. And I just picked up on it and I was like, I don't think that's going to work. I hate to be right in that situation. Do I hate to be right? No. I am a pessimist, which means I'm either right or pleasantly surprised, so... Sometimes you don't want to be right, though, do you?
No.
Oh, speeding into the railway.
Finally, Drew's arrived.
Hello, Drew. I feel like we haven't seen you in ages.
So all 7 are back together again.
Oh.
It's like a family, do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's like a family, so... That's why I missed them all.
No.
Look at that. Ooh.
Oh, yes, the photo
At their first retreat together, they had a photo shoot to mark the occasion.
I fucking hate photos.
These pictures, like, symbolise a point in our transition. Yeah. Like,
oh, yes. Oh, no! Getting all in my feels.
3 months later, they're back in front of the camera. And this time, they've all brought something special, which represents what they'd like in the future.
Right.
This basically represents what I want to be in the future, which is to be a makeup artist.
Oh!
But, like, I think hair and beauty is like the best thing to start.
I've
And
got
you know
to
what?
learn
She did.
patience.
She
and
did
I've-
that.
I'm like one of the most impatient people, and I think this is probably my
Is that a
lesson.
pocket watch?
So I've got this timepiece to help me remember that. Like this time next year,
Beautiful.
things will be very
He's
different.
got a little fox!
Yay,
That's so
we're
cute.
taking pictures.
Oh, it's the end of term photo shoot.
Professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Not when you talk like that.
That's hard.
Oh, hold
Yeah,
this
that's
cup
good.
of brushes.
He's got a cape.
It is a bit of a cape, eh?
I love it. You're like a superhero.
This is my new prayer shawl because it's just Jewish New Year, so I feel like it just symbolises like a fresh start for me and kind of looking to the future.
Love
Isn't
it.
it
Very cute.
amazing?
It is lush.
And like usually, like when I go to synagogue, like I sit in the back and like hope that no one notices me. And like when I wore it on Friday, like I sat in the front with my friends. So
Big moment.
felt like
always giving you a bit of
proper grown up. I just felt like
Religion doesn't often have a great, or shall I say the Abrahamic religions do not often have a great relationship with the LGBT, specifically the T, but to be honest, everyone in the LGBT. So that is nice to hear.
proper grown up. It was really nice.
There is something I wanted to show you because I've met someone. I've brought him.
Oh my god.
No, you haven't.
You're joking.
Seriously.
It's an actual a boyfriend.
Actually, boy. Bring him in then,
But he's
Johnny.
really shy.
No.
He's really shy.
No.
I can't tell. I don't know.
Oh, see, I thought it was going to be a dog for some reason. This is Donna's husband.
I was like, I thought I'd seen him before. I don't
dear.
understand why he's got boobs.
I need a trans man.
Rather than the job I used to have as a lorry driver,
Donna
it's just
naughty.
like a job for maybe an office job or that sort of thing.
Excuse me, secretary. Could you please reschedule my 2 o'clock?
A corporate.
And also, I would like I'd like Subway for lunch. So please reschedule.
That's it.
So I'm going for the whole chap look. I feel like I'm in the next catalogue.
You are. You're so gorgeous.
This is such a fun little concept. Oh, I like this.
Male
This is
model,
done so
That's
well.
so tough.
T.
Do you guys remember what Sarah was like the first photo shoot we did?
Yeah.
She stood here like.
Yeah.
You remember? Let's see the difference then. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, the first one, I hated it because I wasn't confident, I didn't feel happy in myself.
Oh, she's got some
And, what I've
negligee.
learned from transitioning is it's all in my head.
This
As long as I'm smiling,
cut
I
of
can do
this
anything.
hair is so much more flattering.
That is really nice.
Go on, Liz.
Okay.
Lewis has brought fake fivers with him to represent the money he's raising to have chest surgery.
Oh.
Like, do you think it's too much this, right? If like maybe I had like
Very,
my
like,
top off and like maybe like
gangster.
threw it up in the air and like was covering my chest.
I
Can I
think
take
it's
my top
good.
off?
Go Lewis.
Throughout his life, he's gone to great lengths to hide his breasts.
Is that covering everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
It's amazing.
Oh, you're so beautiful, Lewis.
Look at his shoulders. Goodness me. Oh, throw it in. Stripper. Oh, I love that. That's so fun. Oh,
the
the
last
water
event
wheel.
at the final retreat.
Right.
When I first came in the house,
MAC foundation?
I used the words, I feel like a
MAC
train about
gel?
it.
What was the gel? Studio gel.
And now, you know, I've made real steps
Studio
towards being a woman. The maleness of me.
Sorry, the makeup was not the point of that conversation.
And now, you know, I've made real steps towards being a woman. The maleness of me is just kind of fading away. It's disappearing. It's becoming a distant memory, you know?
And that is transition. In anything, really. The idea that something
Everyone's
is
invited family and
shifting.
friends to come and celebrate with them.
Oh, it's a party at the hacienda. Oh, there's Mummy.
Look at the house. It's lovely, isn't it?
Other Mummy.
And what a day.
I was going to say Daddy.
Just call her Nan.
Oh, Nanny.
And that's Fox in the background. I don't know where Sarah is. She might be inside.
So yeah, this is where we've been staying. Jealous?
Yes.
Have you ever seen this before?
Why was there a house like this?
No, like the mirror with all the lights around it.
Seeing the house full of parents with their children is too much for Karen. She hasn't seen her own daughter for 20 years. A month ago, she decided to contact her.
I'm writing to you today to try and get in touch with you and hope...
I feel a little bit this way. I have a grandmother, and she is, I think she's 96 years old, and she's on my mum's side, and I haven't spoken to her in 20 years, perhaps, something like that. No, maybe a bit less than that, maybe more like 15 years. And I've been recently thinking, because, so something quite big and dramatic is happening in the background of my life right now, something that I'm not going to talk about until it's all, like, sorted. And it's made me feel like I should write a letter to my grandma. And I'm a little bit like, I don't know how that would go. Because it's not about me, who I am as a person. It's actually about something else. But also, I haven't spoken to her since I've become this person. So I feel like this also needs to be spoken about. But it's like, I don't know. I didn't think she was particularly open-minded when I was younger. So it could be a huge problem. But like, there's still a part of my brain that's like, you should write it now before it's too late.
Hopefully, if you want to maybe at some point meet up with me. I'm now called Karen. I was married to your mum, but we got divorced because I wanted to be a woman. You were quite young when this happened. I want to try to explain to you.
People surprise you sometimes.
What's wrong?
I was just talking about the families here.
Okay.
And I just got to about my daughter.
Did you hear back?
No.
Oh.
I just get upset. God, I hide it so well sometimes. But other times...
You don't have to hide it, honey.
I'm not hiding.
The world is cruel. People can be crueler.
Oh.
While Karen's letter has gone unanswered, the letter Max sent to his grandmother worked. They were reunited after years apart.
I hadn't seen Max for a long, long time, and I never thought I was ever going to see him again. One day, I've got a letter. It was lovely, but it was so emotional. I was so sad that he's telling me all about himself, because he was alone. Because his family disowned him. And I couldn't get my head round it. How could anybody stop loving somebody? And then the next thing, Max was coming and we had to go and meet him at the station. And we didn't know, after 10 years, I didn't know what he looked like.
Gorgeous.
And then all of a sudden, Grandad said, he's just come through the gate. We recognised him straight away.
And you look
And
so
it was-
different as well.
She doesn't. It's not to me. And now, I love him to bits. I love him to bits.
Oh, that's
Sarah invited
really
her parents,
emotional.
but they haven't come.
I didn't want to start crying in a room full of strangers. You know, what Max's gran said, you know, really touched me. You know, when she said, you know, how could anyone stop loving someone? You know, I love my family very much. Gosh. I just want them to know how much it hurts to cut me out. How pointless it is. It cuts deep, you know. It cuts very deep.
I don't think, was that explained in this show? I thought they'd met up a few times. I thought Sarah had met up with her mum a few times, no?
Finally, after a summer together, they're going to look to the future.
It just feels so amazing that everyone's families are here, or not, actually. And I think it's really important to name that some of us don't have family here. But we do, because there are families here, and then there's a family here. We made something together, and we made a family. In my photo shoot, I wore a prayer shawl. The Jewish community have embraced me and raised me up in the same way that you guys have. So my hope for the future is that I can always have you in my life, always have you in my life, and always have this as well. I love you, Nan.
Oh.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, it's a bit show and tell, but it's very sweet.
Right. I've had a job. As a lorry driver, believe it or not. But I've had an operation. I want to move forward now. I want to do something else. And my biggest thing at the moment is to get my voice trained. Working in the warehouse full of blokes is not going to do it for me. That's what I feel. And maybe work in a more female environment. So this photo is me trying to be a secretary. I'm going to miss you lot, all of you. I really am.
I was with someone for 3.5 years and we ended...
Oh, I need a break! I can't do this. Stop. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me! Get a hold of yourself! Gosh, getting upset on the internet, that's not very I have tattoos, is it?
Really like, in the future, maybe to meet someone, a nice person. It's my blow-up man. All it symbolises is basically just having the choice to have a normal relationship.
I wonder if Donna realised she'd have to be presenting this photo in a room full of people.
My prop was this pocket watch, because one thing I've had to learn is patience with this whole thing. So for my photograph, I thought I was dressed as a dapper chap.
Oh, that's lovely.
It's lovely. Come on, Sarah.
Literally a couple of weeks before I met all of you guys, I lived my life as a man. And the one thing that I've learned over the last few months is, you know, I can buy hair, I can buy clothes, I can buy false boobs, I can buy makeup. But the key to a successful transition comes from within. It comes from being happy. And transitioning has made me happy. And as long as I'm happy and I have a smile on my face, I can do anything, you know?
That's right, you can.
I can do anything. So, I've got a photo of me smiling.
I'm saving up for my surgery.
Oh, that was heartfelt,
and like,
wasn't it?
I've never felt like true happiness like with myself, and I know in my heart that I never will until I've had the surgery. So for my picture, like, well, I'm topless, but you can't see anything rude because of the my arms and stuff. But like, one day I won't have to stand with my arms folded across my chest. I'll just be like proud, like, hey. So Donna,
the journey.
You're missing out on this.
What was that?
You're missing out on this.
You're missing out. Oh, dude. Clocked.
This whole experience has been like so life-changing for me.
Kinda awkward.
I'd never met any other transgendered people before, and I've never really been proud to be transgender before. Sometimes even a bit embarrassed of it. But Max, like, you're so confident and like proud. One of the things that I can say that I've got out of this whole experience is that it's taught me to be like so like proud of myself and proud to be transgender. I can like genuinely say that I'm proud of the journey that I've like been on, and I don't know what else to say apart from that, but I mean it. So.
Wow. Oh, it's been quiet this last little bit because this is so
coming into this house,
powerful.
I wasn't getting anywhere in my life. Like, I felt like I was stuck having interviews and being told that I can't work with people because I'll make them feel uncomfortable. And I thought, like, you know, all I'd ever have in life is being stared at badly. And coming here made me realise that, you know, these are my streets as much as everyone else's, you know. I'm allowed to walk. Yes! I'm allowed to walk, you know, along the street just like everyone else, and I'm allowed to do a job. And I got it, you know, I got the coffee shop job. And meeting you all, like, it made me realise just how much I've come along the way and how much I'm proud to be who I am. For me, like, this is the best experience I've ever done. I love you all.
Well done, everybody. Oh, we have to say goodbye to this beautiful house. Right, what's the tea? Everyone's leaving. Put on your shoes. Oh, those are some fun boots. Are they Donna's new rocks? Ah! Oh, do you remember digital cameras? Gosh. That was an intense moment there, wasn't it? Oh, I feel all silly. Stop it.
Just think we're going to be each other's future, Sarah.
For you to be like this now.
Maybe I can make it go myself.
Amazing.
1, 2, 3,
Karen and Donna are standing by to answer your questions in a live Q&A starting right now at channel4.com/trans.
It's not happening now, that's a lie. Wow, 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 wow. That's basically all I can say. What an episode this was. Gosh, I can't even really pinpoint some of my emotions here because I'm kind of in my feelings, if you've noticed. So, the last section there I thought was actually really sweet. I love the idea of a show like this taking something from the first episode, the first time they've met, like that little photo shoot situation, and then showing the development at the end with like a personal item and a personal story related to their own journey. That is really sweet. And I think that's actually something that we can do in our lives, like not as TV stars. I think it's really important occasionally to take stock of just exactly where you are. I feel like transition when it comes to being trans, and actually transition in anything of your life, it's always really important to remember where you've come from to know where you're going. I feel like in my life, I have had multiple different things that I can relate to with this for. Being trans is one of them. Now that I look back at videos from 3 years ago, from 5 years ago, from when I started YouTube in 2006, this storyline of my life is so incredible. I'm not the most famous person by any means. I'm not the most well-known person. I'm not like internationally celebrated or the such like, but I'm so proud of how far I have come in my personal life and professional life to be the person that I am today in front of you right now, being able to do this and being able to show some of these stories that also have had incredible trajectories. It's just so... Sometimes it's really important to remember where you've come from, to know where you're going. Also, I feel like this show was quite good at showing how difficult sometimes it is to be trans. So Sarah's experience there with trying to find housing when moving to Brighton, it's actually very common for trans people to feel very difficult to get housing, to get jobs, to get like help in any way of these situations that other people just don't struggle with. I'm not saying that like ordinary people might not struggle to get housing, but as soon as you have something that makes you different, it kind of does add an extra layer of like difficulty. There was a saying I saw on Reddit a few weeks ago. It was on a transgender subreddit, and it was something like being trans is playing life on difficult and survival mode. And I kind of agree with that, because sometimes ordinary things that other people might take for granted become very difficult to do when you are trans. A lot of that in this country, in the UK, is related to healthcare, housing, and professional ability. And at the moment, it's also getting very toxic. The conversations around trans people in public, trans people in private, is very, very toxic. We're seeing a huge wave of gender-critical people and TERF people just trying to erase what it means to be a trans person, and just trying to actually straight up erase us. And the thing is, they're not going to stop once trans people are out of the equation. This right-wing movement to try and delegitimize us as a group of people is not going to stop with just trans people. It started with conversations of like trans women being predators in the bathroom, yet for some reason the conversation of, oh, well, a cis man who's potentially a predator could just pretend to be a trans man to get into a woman's bathroom. If what you're trying to legislate is that these specific only places can be only operated by your birth sex, then there is these huge swathing problems. They don't think about issues like this, they just want to harm trans people. And we've started to really see that progression and development against the rest of the LGBT community, with people saying that bisexual people aren't valid and that lesbians should be removed from women's sports because they have a natural advantage over non-lesbian women. And it's just like, why are you having these conversations? Why are these conversations being entertained? And so, to wrap up my point, it feels very interesting, kind of upsetting, but also a little bit heartwarming that 12 years ago, these conversations were happening on a national television show that went over weeks on a primetime slot to show trans people with a very human approach. Granted, the narration was a bit difficult at certain times. Some of the language is outdated, some of it's a bit insensitive. On the whole, I feel like my experience watching this show was quite positive. I don't know if everyone's had this experience, and I'm guessing we'll find out a little bit more when I do like a reunion situation. Let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode, because for me, it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I can't wait to see the comments on this one, and I'm gonna be in there, also joining in. And with that, my lovelies, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourselves scrolling past on the screen here, my lovelies. Yes, you can. If you'd like to join the Patreon and check out the little kinds of perks you can get for all different tiers, check the little link in the description box below, my lovelies. And with that, as always, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons: Orcos Emoji, Beebles32, Shell Herman, Christy Crownover, Christina, Kyle, ContraPoints, Danielle, Elizabeth Stone, Emily Worsham, Eric Castillo, Finn Dunham, Jen Martin, Caitlin Wright, Larry Lane, Laura Jane, Les Banana, Lizette Cares, Min Mintier, Mariah Sherman, Ms. Kiss, Novembrix, Paolo Rivera, Rubik's.co, Ryan Vita, Slampire Queen, Steffi Tech, The Chaos Collective, Vicky Walsh, Victoria Corella, and Zoe Sevier. And you know what, my loves? I think I'm going to leave it on the note of, it takes a lot of guts to be you, and it takes even more guts to pursue your own happiness. But it is so rewarding. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Goodness.